Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Yeah.
Welcome to Run It Back. Now, I'm going to give everybody out there a little piece of advice. If you're a producer of a television show and you're about to go live on the air, 2 seconds before you do that, you don't tell the female host of the show she looks like Steve Jobs. That's just advice that I'm giving to the next generation of television makers. Okay, anyways, Boogie Cousins is here. Look at us smiling. My name's Michelle. Lou, what's up, buddy? How's Atlanta?
It's cold, Beadle. It ain't Steve Jobs cold, but it's cold.
Wait, how cold? Now, how cold are we talking? Because last time we had somebody say it was cold, it was Chandler and it was 40.
It's legit. We below freezing. We got 30-degree weather.
No, we're gonna.
The sun's out though. The sun's out, but it is cold. It is a little chilly. But who's complaining? Life could be worse.
It could definitely be worse. You know what, guys? We got a lot to talk about. We have a lot of reacting to do, is what we're really going to do here, because the deadline has now come and gone. There were some fireworks, but some of the fireworks we thought we might get never came to be. So, Giannis and Ja Morant, neither one got moved. Boogie, were you shocked? Were you like, yeah, that makes sense? Initial response.
I was more shocked on the Ja Morant, situation. It's just been so much, chaos around that situation, as far as, suspending them early in the year, documenting that, him and the coach don't so-called get along, whatever the case may be. So to see him last past the deadline with the moves they've made already, with the move of, sending Jaren Jackson to Utah, it was just a clear-cut sign that, Ja was on his way out the door as well. Yeah. So, that was more of a shock to me than anything. But as far as the Giannis situation, I'm just a bit confused at this point. I don't really know, like, at this point, it's like, do you want to get moved or do you not? You know what I mean? It's like it's changing with every day that passes. So, it's a real up and down type of, notion. Like, do you want to go or not? You know what I mean? And if so, just stay put and let's move on and y'all do what y'all do. So that one's more so weird to just figure out in general. I don't know what's going on though.
I find it annoying, actually.
Yeah.
It's been very annoying, Lou. And we'll get into the social media posts and all that, because I got opinions on that as well. But what did you think? Yeah. Did you think one of them at least?
I feel the opposite of Boogie, right? Like, I was more surprised that Milwaukee didn't make a move opposed to Memphis. We had a lot of chaos going on in Memphis early in this season, but since then, a lot of the talk had subsided. You didn't hear a lot from Ja Morant's camp. You didn't hear a lot from, the Memphis Grizzlies as an organization. But when it comes to Milwaukee Bucks, we were getting a report every other day, from Giannis' side and the Bucks side, and they were working together, and it was something coming out every different day, to the point where the internet's calling Shams a storyteller because it didn't go the way that he's saying he goes. But he was just as confused as everybody else, as since we're done with it now, So I don't know what to make of this. I'm confused just as much as Boogie. Obviously with the post on X kind of makes it even more confusing, and all of these things. But I was almost certain. Well, I don't want to say certain, but I wasn't surprised that Ja Morant didn't get moved. I was more so surprised that Giannis stayed, and the attitude of him staying afterwards as well. It was all confusing to me.
Yeah, is he smarter? Does he think he's smarter? Like, I'm trying to figure this Giannis thing out. Like, and by the way, the post, for those of you who I don't know how you missed it, is from Wolf of Wall Street, and it's the famous scene when Leonard DiCaprio is like, "I'm not effing leaving," and then he had the quote, "Legends don't chase, they attract." I mean, it's just corny, but that's fine. That's my own opinion. I put my name on that one, but I think he thinks he's outsmarting us. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Like I said, I don't know what this is. Like, I'm a clear-cut guy. So if I want to be there, I'd let it be known I want to be there.
Right.
If I don't want to be there, then I'll let it be known I don't want to be there. But like I said, that with the change of, every other day, like, it's almost like we're being forced to deal with a toxic relationship. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be in the midst of y'all drama every other day. Like, if y'all gonna do that, do it in the privacy of your own. So, I don't know. I'm confused. Like I said,
he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
That team's not good enough.
Yeah, like where do we go from here? So
Summer.
He's deactivated for the rest of the season, as if I'm understanding that correctly, right? So
I don't know
we're
anymore.
not going to see him play this year.
Right.
So that part of it is that part of it is over. The summertime, we all know that the Knicks can do better business in the summer. They can put together a better option or a better package for Giannis. So that conversation is still alive. We don't know where to go from here. He's saying, the legends don't chase, they attract. I didn't see any moves that really made the Milwaukee Bucks a destination place at this trade deadline. So it's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and I felt like they could have been answered if we just would have got some straight, clear-cut information from both sides. I know they're using the thing that said, "Hey, Giannis never wanted to get traded. Giannis never said that he wanted to be traded." Sure, but we also had reports of his representation working with the Milwaukee Bucks to see if they can get on the same page. So there was movement there. So don't make anybody that's reporting that out to be a liar that was reporting on that based on the information that's coming out of what was going on with the information you guys were giving us. So again, I still don't think this saga is over. If Giannis is going to stay in Milwaukee for the entirety of his career, I think all legends as he is, I think they should. I think they should have that opportunity. But again, let's be clear cut about how we're going to move forward, especially if we're going to criticize the people involved for reporting on it and you giving us mixed messaging every other day.
Yeah,
So
it's no
that's my
secret.
take.
Shams Charania is our guy. We worked with him. We watched him in action. He takes it very seriously, almost too seriously sometimes. I worry for his health. So when people try to throw him under the bus, that is very irritating. He didn't make any of that stuff up. He's getting it from somebody. I think what bothers some of us about this Giannis situation is you don't get to have it both ways, man. Some people aren't built to be villains. I understand that. They don't want it. They don't want any part of it. He's one of those types. So if you say one thing out of one side of your mouth and then stuff behind the scenes through your agent, you're still saying it. Maybe you didn't say the words out loud, but your agent did, and the agent is a part of you, a representation of you. So he's going to get moved this summer. I just feel like this whole thing's just been a manipulative gaslighting for all of us. And if you're a Bucks fan or a Giannis fan, maybe you get to feel a little better today. Like, see, he's not going anywhere. Well, he is, actually. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. He'll be gone. He'll be gone this summer. So that is coming.
Pop off, bees. Pop off.
I don't like, it's okay to be a villain. Like, it'll pass. It'll pass.
We're just
LeBron was a villain once.
Let's just be clear.
Yeah.
That's all. You don't even necessarily even have to be the villain. Let's just be clear with
truthful.
the messaging. If you want to stay, say you want to stay, and I want them to bring in some pieces to build around me, and let's move forward. If you want to go, then say you want to go. That was all. And then again, at the end of all of this, it's like, well, told y'all. It's like, no, you didn't. Like we're all confused. And so that's all we're asking. Let's just be clear about it. And then, once it goes one way or another, you try to make us out to be crazy people. So that was all.
$1 billion he's gone this summer. That's my bet on that one. And by the way, Shams also had reports on the Ja Morant situation as well. And apparently, obviously, people were intrigued by the level of talent that he possesses. The only part of the problem, Lou, was that no one really seemed like they were willing to make a very serious offer. And so now I'm wondering, okay, let's move forward with Ja Morant. He's now still a Grizzly, but what does his future look like?
It looks like it's going to be a Memphis Grizzly. He's out with an elbow injury right now. And so, the way that I see it in my opinion, it looks like he's going to finish out the season. I think the Memphis Grizzlies are hoping that he plays well. He plays up to all-star form, as the Ja Morant that they're used to seeing. And then revisiting these conversations in the summertime, the same way the Milwaukee Bucks are going to look at it in the summertime. I think this is what it is. If they weren't getting the offers that they thought they wanted, or think that that's what Ja Morant deserved as a player, and those things didn't come in, we'll revisit this in the offseason and see if we move forward with him and build around him with some pieces. Obviously they got a lot of cap space, but it looks like that they're going to use that cap space to turn it into a rebuild, or they can go out and get some guys and they can try to, rekindle this thing one more time with Ja Morant as their lead, and so I think they just bought themselves some time to allow themselves to go into the offseason and see what they can do from there.
Do you think he played, when he's ready? Do you think he goes out and play? Do you think they try to shut him down? Like, I'm wondering what they think they're going to do here.
I mean, it seems like the trend in the league is to start deactivating players at this point in the league, in the season. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Like I said earlier, it didn't really make sense to me as to why they would keep him after the deadline. You made all your other moves. You traded another huge foundational piece in the franchise. I don't understand. It's almost like a punishment in a way. You know, you send all my friends off and you just leave me here. You know what I mean? So,
well, it makes you wonder what the offers were. If they got what they got for Jaren Jackson, and we all thought that bought them a little bit of wiggle room to maybe take a lesser offer for John Morant, and then they still didn't.
That's exactly what I thought.
What were the offers? Like, that's what I really want to know. We may never know, but maybe somebody can get that for us, because they must have been awful.
And I'll never understand the self-sabotage of suspending him earlier in the season. If you already knew,
that's why I think
they knew at that point they were ready to move on.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So you know the deadline is on the way. You kill his value, then you don't like the offers at the deadline. So now you keep him.
That's weird.
It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense.
And I think, and Book, that's why I think that we see him again in uniform for the Memphis Grizzlies this year, opposed to being deactivated. I think they allow him to go out there and shine and be the Ja Morant that we've gotten accustomed to seeing, playing above the rim, attacking the basket, playing with a lot of joy and excitement, and trying to lead the team that's left of what they have, with them trading away, like you said, all of his friends and all of the core guys that started with him. Bane is out of there now. Dylan Brooks is out of there now. And Triple J is out of there now. He's the last of that core four that they had. But this is an opportunity for him to go out there, get that value back up, and then maybe teams come knocking with a better offer come free agency. So we'll see. You
think you get a better version of him with now playing basically losing basketball? You think his value will increase?
If he's playing for his future, maybe? Like, would that help?
I mean,
he got to control what he can control. The only thing Ja Morant can control is how well that he plays if he goes out and he decides to compete. That's the only thing that he can control. And I don't see him going out there with the attitude of, I'm gonna stink it up some more, or I'm not playing with any joy and all of these things that we heard before. At the end of the day, he was playing decently before he got hurt. The play that he got hurt, he was trying to make a defensive play. That tells me he's out there playing with heart. He's out there playing with courage and trying to win basketball games. I don't think that'll be any different if he comes back.
Boogie, when you were ready to leave Sacramento, was it a slow burn, or was there do you remember like a moment where you went, yep, nope, we're done, it's time to go?
I was so stuck on trying to, be that guy to help the Sacramento get back to the playoffs. Obviously they ended up making it a little later on, but that was my number one goal. So I was, I wanted to stick through it. I felt like I had, the will to make that happen. But it came to a certain point when a certain coach came in, and I knew, and it was at a halfway point in the season, so obviously at that point I couldn't really make anything shake. But going into that off season and just that short experience with that coach, I knew like this situation wasn't gonna get, or this situation wasn't aligned with what I'm trying to do in my career. So I knew at that point it was time to go, and I ended up requesting a trade, and for some reason it didn't go through. They ended up holding me that summer. So I ended up returning back, and then eventually they ended up trading me. So it was a weird situation, but I knew at that point it was time for me to get up out of there.
Yeah. I always find that interesting. There's like a moment where I'll just go, nope, this is not the job, we're out. This was a fun one. This one sort of came in under the wire. Ivica Zubac getting a little change to the Pacers. This is huge for next season. We knew that he was a big target for a lot of folks. I don't know that we thought the Pacers would be it. Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, 2 first-round picks and 1 second-round pick go back over to Los Angeles. But Lou, how are we feeling about this one? From the Clippers standpoint, I thought a lot of people just said, all right, well, they're waving the white flag. Is that the vibe you're getting as well?
It's hard to say no, right? Like, you trade away James Harden, you trade away Zoo. Those were 2 core pieces of what they were trying to do in Los Angeles, and now you look at it as a retooling. They were able to go get some young guys to come back. They were able to go out and get some really good draft pieces, some really good draft picks that they didn't have before. So this to me obviously looks like a play for the future. They have an opportunity to go out and get some really good blue chip young talent out in the draft with those protected picks. And they got a great opportunity to start fresh or continue to build around Kawhi Leonard, who has another year on his deal. And before he reaches free agency, they'll give it one more opportunity with these young guys. So I think it was a positive for the Clippers. It looks like they are waving the white flag, but I do still feel like, they have enough pieces to compete, especially when you still got Kawhi Leonard, who's healthy. It looks like they're still going to compete, but it also looks like this is a move for the future as well. So, I thought they did a great job. I didn't want to see Zoo go, especially with him having a newborn child who's, basically 3 years old at this point, and to be traded, this business can be harsh on a personal level, but, that's the nature of the beast. That's how this thing goes. But I think the Clippers did tool up for the future, and I think it'll do them some good.
Yeah, I agree. I think this was something, to gain some youth back, change it up a little. I don't know if this is necessarily a rebuild, for the Clippers, in my opinion. And I could be wrong. It's more of a retool. They put some youth around Kawhi. Benedict Mathurin, he can play ball. I think he's filling a role in that wing position that could actually flourish next to Kawhi. Obviously, they made a move for Darius Garland, so they definitely put some talented youth around him, gained some assets at the same time. So I think this is definitely a retool, and I'm excited to see what it looks like moving forward. So I'm not mad at this move from the Clippers.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because Kawhi is the last tree standing. Shout out Michelle for that line. So then you're saying he died. It's good.
No,
so
Kawhi got plenty trees.
I just love it so much. So he's not. So we don't think he's getting moved. We're not looking to next season. We're like, he will actually end up being moved as well. We think that this is part of rebuilding around him or retooling around him. I
mean, and we could be wrong. It could. That he's the last standing piece, obviously. So that could be an all-season move that is made. And it would make sense as well because, if you're now going this young and you're getting assets back, you may move on from your older aging superstar. So that could make the summer really exciting if that was the case. And I know there's some teams that will be lined up to send offers that way. So I got a few in mind.
And also, let's not forget how we got here with Kawhi Leonard. It got to make sense for him. For him to want to go somewhere, for him to be moved, right? And so if they don't put the pieces around that makes sense for him to compete for a championship that he feels like, they're absolutely going to move around. Remember, he wasn't coming to the Clippers until they decided, hey, look, I'm coming, but y'all got to go get Paul George. Y'all got to put some pieces around for this to make sense. Everything clears out, you go out and get James Harden, you go out and get different pieces. I don't see this any different. If they don't go out and they go get some guys that he can look around and realistically say, at this point in my career, this gives me an opportunity to compete for a championship or put us in that conversation, and it don't make sense, we might have to start looking at other options. So I think this is going to have to make sense for the Clippers and for Kawhi Leonard as well, for him to stay past this next season as well.
My goodness, if we go into the summer and it's Giannis, Kawhi, these are the guys that are on the move.
Crazy summer.
It never ends. All right, math time. So one of the first-round picks going to the Clippers is the Pacers' 26th first. That is a 1 through 4 protected and 10 through 30 protected. Now, if your brain already shut up, join me. But the sweet spot for the Clippers is actually picks 5 through 9. Is there a world in which I guess there is, Lou. It could backfire against the Pacers. It's just part of this is luck, right?
Yeah, it could, but right now I think, listen, if healthy, I think Indiana gets better by bringing in Zubac. So a lot of this stuff is still pending. We're going to see how it all plays out. I think both teams took a gamble, and I think it's going to work for both parts. You add Zubac to an Eastern Conference that doesn't have a lot of dominant big guys, that size is a luxury. Size is something that's needed, and you add somebody like him to the mix when a Holly can get healthy. You got Siakam, who's having an all-star year, as you can see. You have him, and you have some other different pieces. Nembhard as well. They got better. But this is a move for next season. Everybody's looking for the future. The Clippers, they got younger. They feel like they're getting better. We haven't even mentioned Garland in this conversation. Right. He's also in uniform over there with the Clippers. So both teams went out and did and and looked into the things that they needed to get better at, and I think it works for both sides.
I find the Pacers thing interesting because we knew the minute Halliburton got hurt that this was just sort of going to be a wash a bit, and it has been. Obviously, they're at the bottom. Is it not crazy to think that when we start this bad boy up again next October, are we looking at a top 4 team in the East when everybody's back and healthy?
I think so, and especially with this move for Zoo, very serviceable. Great rebounder, great rim protector, can finish around the basket with both hands. I think they got a lot better. So, and adding him to the additions you already have with Siakam, Nembhard, and Hallie coming back, they're definitely going to be a really, really good team. So, I like this move from both. Like I said, and Lou said, I like this move from both sides. I think both sides got better. I think they benefited long term. So, I think it's a win-win for both.
Boogie, the way the Hornets are your team, the Pacers were Lou's team last season. So I want to make sure, like, Lou, I want to check in with you. Like, how are we feeling? Okay, yeah.
I feel good. And I've long apologized for my criticisms and my lack of knowledge from the Indiana Pacers. I said I wasn't watching Indiana basketball, and they went on to go to the NBA Finals in the same season.
They really did.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
I have no problem with saying that I was wrong. I'm a fan. Obviously, this is a different basketball team. They have a different personality and swag when Holly is in uniform. I can't really give them top 4 yet because everything is still pending. I still like where Detroit ain't going nowhere. Boston ain't going anywhere. New York still is in play to make some major moves. The Sixers are trending up. Toronto is trending up. It's a lot of teams that addressed a lot of their different needs that they needed and got better during this free agency going into next year. That, you know, I don't think Indiana just walks into a 4th spot. I think it's going to be a fight. I think the East got stronger as a whole after this deadline.
Yeah, the Eastern Conference. I'm kind of happy they made as many moves as they did. Speaking of, there were I thought 23, 24 total trades. I want to say somewhere in that range, Boogie. So how do you feel? Was it exciting enough for you? Was it a little bit less than what you expected? How are you giving the grade-wise?
It was a decent trade deadline. I think we were looking for, you know, bigger fireworks as far as the bigger name superstars in the league, but it was rather decent. You know, it was a few teams that, you know, I thought would have made moves that didn't. You know, I thought the Warriors would have been a lot more active as far as the deadline. I mean, they did make a decent move with KP, but I thought they would have been a lot more active. The Knicks surprised me as well. Houston surprised me.
Knicks are my favorite.
So, you know, I am surprised that more so some teams didn't make a move, but, you know, like I said, it was a rather...
Okay, we'll get to that. Because now I'm going to go down the list of a couple things here, Lou. Real quick, which trade did you love the most?
I got to say Boston. I got to say Boston going out and getting Vooch. I think that puts them in a really good position come this postseason. And I don't think that the trade deadline was exciting. I thought it was efficient. We didn't get the fireworks we wanted, but a lot of teams addressed the needs that they needed, the things that they needed for them to get better, and I think they did. I'm sitting here looking. I feel like Boston got better. I feel the Wizards got better. Utah got better. The Hawks got better. Charlotte got better. Add Mike Conley. Add Kobe White. Let's see what Cleveland do with James Harden. A lot of different teams addressed their needs, and I feel like they got better. So we didn't get the fireworks, but I think everybody did an efficient job in trying to make their basketball teams better. So I think that's going to make for a great second half of the season.
I feel like we got little black cats, like little sparklers, little something, little excitement. Wait, who do you think won?
It was more small, subtle moves that impressed me the most. Minnesota with the deal for, I might butcher his name, but Ayo, and one that Lou mentioned in Charlotte with the move for Mike Conley.
Big one, yeah.
I guess I'm the new, Charlotte Hornets fan. I'll take it, whatever. Yep. But that Mike Conley move for LaMelo Ball, I think that's probably the most impressive move of the deadline, and just the influence and the way I know Mike Conley will go in that organization and put his arm around that young kid, and the way he'll be able to groom him into being a professional player in this league and a leader of that team, I'm excited for him. So I'm looking forward to how that works out. And I'm looking forward to see, how it carries over into the next season to see what this Charlotte Hornets
I submit Jose Alvarado getting to play in the Garden. I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
that was my favorite.
That was another
good one.
That was my own personal favorite. Why were you shaking your head, by the way, Lou?
I'm distracted. I didn't close my door. My dogs are downstairs, and they decide they want to play while I'm working.
Yay,
So
let
I'm
them
trying to tell them
play.
to get away right now. So
Well, put him in your lap so we could see him. That will be fine with
he's
that.
too,
Biggest
he's
loser.
Too big. Look, well, he jumped
I
up
see
here.
ears.
So
I see
you can see a
ears.
little ears. You can see a little bit.
Dogs make everything better. You guys know this. Okay, while he gets that doggy in his lap, Boogie, who's the biggest loser?
Biggest loser of the deadline?
If you think there was one.
This big old guy, see, I can't. Here we go.
Why can't
Yeah,
you
that ain't
pick
no
up
lap
your
dog, Lou.
That's a lap dog.
Yeah,
That's a
he's a lap
baby.
dog. I'm a big man.
Oh, he's a lap dog. Don't tell him otherwise. Go, sorry.
Biggest loser of the deadline for me.
And it could be like somebody who didn't do something that maybe we thought they would.
I don't know. I wouldn't really say, I would probably say a Miami. Who didn't make a move at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably say a Miami. I would expected them to, try to make a move as well.
Yeah, they didn't do anything, did
They
they?
didn't do anything. Nothing. So,
Crazy.
Miami.
All right, Miami loss. What do you think, Lou?
I would have to say Milwaukee. I'm still uncertain about their future. I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I would say Milwaukee, and until we get to the offseason and we see what they make of it.
The Sixers, who we have mentioned, are trending upwards. Embiid had said before the deadline, and he was pretty vocal about it, the fact that the team needs to make, a big move. We really have a chance to contend this year. That is his sentiment. And then all they really did was ship McCain off to save on taxes. That is the unsexiest sentence ever said out loud. So now, Boogie, and you are a big proponent of be careful about the Sixers team moving forward. Are they gonna regret this, not having done something bigger?
I think they will regret it, especially with the up and down season they've had as far as help. So I think they need as much talent, as many bodies as they can, keep on that squad. I think that's a move that, could have been, made later on. And especially with a talent like that. He had an incredible rookie year. He ran into some injury early. But, the talent is there. And I think he could have helped at some point, especially if they're speaking about having a legit finals run. So I could see them looking back kind of regretting that move, depending on how this playoffs go. But I know who is excited, and that's the OKC Thunder. So.
Yeah, like almost too
the rich
much,
get richer,
quite frankly. Yeah, I'm wondering too. I wonder if Philly are going to regret this.
I don't know what did he want to be addressed. You have your backcourt of the future. Obviously, Paul George is dealing with what he's dealing with, but he's coming back at the end of the season. It's going to be about 10 to 12 games left when he's back in uniform, and he was playing well. Joel himself was playing well. What else is there to address? I don't know what moves that he expected them or wanted them to make. I think they're playing good basketball as they are positioned. So I don't know what he wanted to add to that group.
I wonder too when you say that, because people are like, "Oh, why didn't the Spurs do this? Why didn't this, and that happen?" I do think that there's this weird feeling out there, and correct me if I'm wrong, some people feel like you need to make a trade just to make a trade, like feel like you did something, and I don't know. I think sometimes you don't need to do something, but I don't know if Embiid feels that way.
I think that's for the good teams. I
Yeah,
mean, obviously a team like Detroit, but
don't touch it.
Like we feel good where we are, and obviously the Philadelphia 76ers, they feel good where they are. I'm just curious to know what was it that he wanted to be added? What issues did they have that he wanted to be addressed?
And that is the question that we
I'm
don't.
sure it wasn't the subtraction of McCain.
I know. I was happy for McCain.
Well, you know what? Oubre started playing better. Oubre started playing better. They were log jammed at the guard position. Edgecombe is playing a lot of valuable minutes, upwards of 30 plus. Maxey was playing upwards of 30 plus. Again, PG was playing well. What were you gonna do? I'm just curious to know what was the idea moving forward. I like the way that the Sixers are playing, and I like the way they're going about business. So
with PG out 25 games, they could use him right now.
That's a fact.
And that's fair.
But he's coming back. So I don't know.
Hey, 25 games without him, that you could drop from 6 to being a
no,
player. I mean, you never know.
That's a slot.
Yeah.
That's a slot.
So
make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about that.
Here's now what we get to look forward to, because there are a lot of teams, and we were running them down in the meeting this morning of how many folks are now in the lottery, how they need to sort of situate themselves moving forward, which basically means not winning games and what that's going to look like, especially for some of these teams who brought in some big names at the trade deadline for the future. And now we'll probably sit a lot of them. Are we about to sit through some of the worst tanking we've seen in quite some time?
I would believe so. Like I said, it seems to be a new trend in the league to where, you know, we tank out loud. You know, back in my day, they tried to be somewhat discreet about it. At least they would lie to your face about it. Now it's, you know, they call it deactivation.
That's so. Or Markkanen last night doesn't play the entire second half. Nothing wrong.
So
doesn't play.
I mean, I guess this is the new trend in the league. It's new for me. I'm sure it's new for the fans, and we'll see what the reactions are like.
How do we feel about it? Because look, if you're a fan of the teams,
I feel differently. Listen,
you do. Okay.
All of the teams that are going to tank, we wasn't watching anyway. As far as
what is wrong with
as far as the East is concerned, the team that's in 10th place is Charlotte. You can't tell me the run that they're on, they're trying to tank,
they're
right? So from 1 to 10 in the East, everybody is still fighting. Okay. Everybody has something at stake still in the East. In the Western Conference, Portland is in a 10 spot. The Clippers is in a 9 spot. Like,
what that looks like.
We got questions to be answered there, but 1 through 8, those teams are still fighting. So look, I still feel like these on both coasts it's going to be competitive on both sides, and the teams that are going to tank, we weren't watching anyway. It is what it is.
That's fine.
So we're looking at a 16 team, still try, and a 14 team. The rest of the way. Is that the math? By the way, I think we go back to my original theory of getting rid of some teams. But nobody wants to hear me whenever I say that out loud.
Everybody won't make it, B.
No, they won't. You know what, though? I'll say this. If you are a fan of, like, the Jazz and the Wizards, I think you feel pretty positive about how things played out, and you just know that patience is key because the future looks relatively brighter than it did 2 days ago.
And you know what? Utah, make it 11 teams in the West. Utah, because even though they got a lot of young talent, those guys need these valuable minutes to build and grow. So
but they also they can't win too much.
Well, you can't have both. Either you can't win too much, or you got to develop these young guys, and the only way to develop them, you got to put them on the floor. So.
That top 8 is the pick for Utah, and then it goes back to OKC. And I think I speak for everyone. We say, "Don't you dare, Utah."
Now that's a gray area.
Don't you do this? We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, a little fast break action. I can't get enough of this. Hornets have now won 8 straight games. That is the longest streak they've had like that since 1999. You know I'm going to you first. Playoffs? What are we looking at? What's the actual reality of what will happen come March, April, May? Well, I mean, that is a significant change in odds numbers.
I'm going out on the limb. Finals. No, I'm kidding.
God, that would be so awesome. Put $1 on it.
Nah, man, I like where this team is going. They're growing right before our eyes. Like I said, the addition of Mike Conley, I think they'll continue to grow. Perfect guy for that locker room. Get these guys' heads in the right places. Teach them how to play this game at a high level, be professional on an everyday basis. I'm excited for where this Charlotte team is going. They're playing well. I like it. I like what Coach Charles Lee is doing with this group. Everything is rolling in the right direction. Keep it going. So.
Kind of crazy. Like, I'm kind of wondering, all right, so they're in the play-in now. I don't know, Lou. Playoffs maybe next year. Like, what are we thinking?
Listen, Bees, the way that they're playing right now, they're in a play-in position, right? You got Orlando at 7, Miami at 8, Atlanta at 9. If they got to go toe-to-toe with any of these teams right now, it'll be hard for me not to pick them to get into an 8 spot or a 7. You know what I mean? Like, the way that they're playing, we got Orlando in there now. I think they put some, I think they get in. If these guys are playing, I think they get in. Listen, we're talking about 8 straight wins. They're happy. They look like they found it. Some of these other teams, it look like they're trending the other way. Outside of the Atlanta Hawks, I think the Atlanta Hawks got better at this deadline. I think they're going to come out after the All-Star break and really start to build in the right direction. Other than that, I think Charlotte gets in. I can make a case for Charlotte getting in, especially with adding Kobe White and some veteran leadership in that locker room. Our big thing, last week was discipline, right? You bring in a Mike Conley, it don't get no more discipline than that. It don't get no more discipline than that. And so if some of that can rub off on these young guys and they're open and receptive to his messaging and what he brings to the table as far as veteran leadership, I think this team even gets better than what they're doing right now. So I think they get in.
What the odds were before the season started, because 102 is nothing. But before the season, that had to have been a crazy number. It's just going to be a fun watch. I'm excited to see how far this thing goes. Steve Kerr had a message for his team after that deadline came and went. We still have a good team. Even without Jimmy, we can make a playoff run. The ceiling is absolutely lower. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Okay.
I like it.
Okay. You like the message?
I like it. You gotta be honest and realistic with your team. You got to manage expectations, and even though that's what you say, that still doesn't mean you can't go out and overperform that. And so you want to set a low ceiling for your team. So if they reach it and they bust through that ceiling, that's a win, opposed to setting that bar high and you falling short. And now you set a unrealistic expectation for your team and your fan base, and now you're having a different conversation of criticism than you were if you're setting that ceiling low. So I don't mind him being open and honest with his group. Like I said, this is a coach that's reached the mountaintop plenty of times. He's had wins, he's had losses. He knows what it looks like. He knows what it feels like. So I'm not mad at this assessment and him being honest with his group.
Does it bother? I mean, I always wonder, like, is there's honesty? Is there too much honesty?
I just wanted to ask a question. Is Steph Curry on this team?
He is, yeah.
Absolutely.
Do we consider this a top 5, top 10 talent all time?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Or is he still considered in the prime of his career?
Yeah.
I don't know if we say that.
Prime, maybe on the backside of the prime.
I think he's still in the prime.
I've seen Steph Curry go on a 5-6 year run. That's a lot better than what he's doing now. He's playing really great basketball, but prime, I don't know if we're seeing his prime.
He's on the other side, but still prime.
He's still playing really great basketball.
We're saying all these things, and then this is the message. It just doesn't go hand in hand for me. You know what I mean? And you think about all these other superstars, the Kevin Durant's, the LeBron James, guys that we put these expectations on every single season, no matter what the roster is around them. So what's the difference?
I don't know.
If you got,
I think where you are. I think realistically where you are. Like you mentioned KD and you mentioned Bron, they're sitting at 4 and 5 right now on their respective teams. Golden State is sitting at 8, and they've had a lot of movement. You got Jimmy Butler go out. You got different things. I just think the scenarios are different. That's all.
All I'm saying is when it comes to our biggest talents in the league, no matter what the roster looks like, the expectations don't usually change. Like I said, I bring up Kevin Durant, LeBron James. No matter what their roster is like, no matter who's hurt next to them, they're still expected to perform at a certain level and reach a certain level in the season. So we put Steph Curry in that same light.
Sure.
But the conversation changes because the supporting cast isn't that great. As long as you have a great in Steph Curry, I don't think this should be your message to the team.
But he's only saying the ceiling's lower.
I don't know, Boog, because when Kevin Durant was in Phoenix, we had a standard, and eventually that standard became lower and lower based on how they were performing.
Right.
When Bron first went to the Lakers, we did not have championship aspirations on their names. They had a low ceiling. They bust through that ceiling, got a championship, and you managed the expectations. I think that the messaging is the same here with Steph Curry at this stage in his career, especially him being a 4-time champion already. Right. Those guys know what it looks like, and they know what it takes. So, again, if you set your bar here, Boogie, and you bust through it, that's a win. But if you set it way up here and you fall short, you're gonna be looked at it in a completely different light. So I don't mind him trying to manage the expectation. Now, if this team go out and perform lights out, he looks like a genius by saying this, right? So that's what I'm saying. I don't mind the messaging behind this with his group. Now, would I have necessarily said this publicly? I probably wouldn't have said that out loud where everybody can hear it and respond to it. But behind closed doors, I wouldn't mind this being the message.
Is it the messenger? Because
no, it's not the messenger. For me, it's just like if I have a Steph Curry on my roster. Yeah. I always feel like I have a chance because he's that great of a player.
But I think he's still saying we have a chance. It's just slightly lower than maybe what once was.
Yeah, we still have a good team, but we're talking about competing for championships.
Because he can't lie either.
I think they can still be in the playoffs.
Since
I think
when?
they can still make some noise. Yeah.
Well, you can't rah-rah the room with guys, especially with Draymond and Stephen. You guys have done everything together, and all of a sudden be like, we're going to win it all. Like, I feel like that would be worse taken.
Yeah. I agree. Like, if Steve Kerr is telling us right now, we're competing, we're one of the teams in the championship conversation right now, we would look at them with a side eye. But if they got to the championship still, we would applaud that. We would applaud them for that.
If his message was, we still have a good team, we have Steph Curry, so that gives us a puncher's chance. I would have liked that better than saying the ceiling is.
Well, then you need to write his speeches for him. Like, what do you want?
I'm just saying, like I said, when I think of a great like Steph Curry, I feel like you always have a chance.
I assume Steve Kerr knows that.
I think we all agree with that, Boogie.
Yeah.
But listen, if I'm a coach and I'm saying, look.
Oh, no, he did not. Lou just checked out.
I think we're a really good basketball team, but we're a little shorthanded. Looking around, we're shorthanded on what everybody else have. But we still have an opportunity to do some things if we're ourselves and we're efficient and we do the things that's necessary to win basketball games. We are still in the conversation, but we got to recognize as well what the reality is, and we're a little shorthanded compared to a lot of teams in the West right now.
If he dropped a "we're going to shock the world," we would have been like, "You're crazy." So you got to temper, I guess, expectations. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, more Run It Back. Lou got new pillows. I won't rest.
You should write his speeches.
Just want a Giannis update? All right, okay.
Is he doing any court work or anything?
Oh, no, I was just talking about, he's going to coach the celebrity game, right? You guys see that? No, he did inform me that he's going to put Shams on the trading block today, and he's just going to listen to offers. So I'm just going to go make that announcement right now.
What is happening right now? Like, what is
What's the trade? What is the trade market for Shams out there in the All-Star game? What is the market? What can you get for Shams on the market?
If I could tell you who the other celebrities were, I would tell you, but I don't actually know. I recognize 4 of them. Let me ask you what are we doing? What's happening? Shams, we're worried about Shams, right? Like, as a team, are we worried about Shams?
Shams got a lot going on.
He's got a lot going on.
Shams all right.
No, I'm sending him a text later. I'm a little worried about our little brother. Like, I feel like he's up against it. What if they do try to pull that? You think Giannis will ship him over to the other team mid-game if he sucks? Like,
he almost got to trade him now just for the entertainment value of All-Star Week.
Good TV.
Yeah, great TV.
It'll be great. It'll be great TV. He almost got to trade him now. But listen,
but he got to drop the
this.
tweet before he do it.
Exactly.
Giannis bomb.
Giannis got to drop the tweet. Giannis got to drop the tweet and let the world know that he's trading Shams for cash consideration and two Jersey Shore girls or something. I don't know who's in the All-Star game.
Wait, is Glorilla? I'm getting this in my ear. Who are the celebrities? Should I look that up? I should look that up. I'm assuming Drewski's in this somehow. I feel like he's in everything.
Man, this is about to be hilarious.
Like, I don't know. I will say this though. I am literally watching this game for one reason and one reason only, and it is Shams.
We got to see if Shams get traded.
This is 100% why I'm watching. I can't believe it. This is what it's come to. I will send him a text later. All right, Boogie. Anthony Davis said he knows for an effing fact. Almost said it. The Pelicans were it's Friday. Pelicans were winning a championship in 2018 before you got hurt because Golden State was too small to guard both of y'all. You buying that?
We were going to win it in 2018?
That's what he said. Effing fact.
You better not say nothing different. You better stand on
I was going to say, are you about to
That's my
disagree?
dog,
I know this ain't the Boogie. This ain't the Boogie Cousins. I know you better stand on that.
I got the ultimate confidence. You could put me up against anybody, and I like my chances. But that gauntlet, that was a gauntlet, man.
I'm shocked right now, actually.
Nah, I think we had a lot of potential on that Pelicans team. I think we were a piece away. It's crazy. I actually did a pod with Melo last night, and this is one of the topics. I was actually trying to recruit Melo to that Pelicans team. So if I could have got Melo there,
interesting.
I'm stamping this quote. But that missing piece I was talking about, we needed that 3-man in the worst way. Outside of that, I liked our team. I think we were competitive nightly. I think we were a really, really good team. But to say we would win one that year, like I said, that was a gauntlet on that side.
Shocked by you right now. By the way, when you say you tried
gauntlet.
to recruit, like what's that sound? What does that look like? What does that mean? And why didn't it happen?
I mean, I think Mel ended up going to OKC. He ended up going to OKC in that trade or something like that. But my memory's a little blurry right now. But, you know, come here and help us win.
I'm shocked by you right now. Anthony Davis said very strongly.
Do you remember that Golden State team?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I also know you enough now that I feel like this would have been a no-brainer for you.
I like my chance. If I'm on the floor, I'm going to go give it my all.
And y'all are big. Y'all are giants. You don't think that's something?
We still needed more. We needed more for that gauntlet.
Lou, I'm a little disappointed.
I just got finished talking about how great Steph Curry and Kevin Durant were. We just
I don't know what's going on right now. What y'all do with Boogie? I leave one day and y'all hide Boogie.
I'll tell you what we did. We did the top 30 contract moneymakers of all time in the meeting. Somebody got in a bad mood. That's what we did, because that list is weird. That's how the sausage got made today.
Stop. It's something in this water. That's what it is.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break.
Can I get a new water?
We'll wrap things up on the other side. Smile more, Boogie. Smile. Lou, I couldn't help but notice when you got on camera today, I feel like an entire interior design situation has occurred behind you since the last time you were home. Talk to me. There's a lot going on now.
I think you're wrong.
There are pillows. There are couches I've never seen before. We got rugs.
That's always been.
This is not true.
Those rugs have always been right there.
What?
I've tried to hide them. They're spare rugs that I have nowhere to put. Nothing's changed.
Am I being gaslit right now? Then you framed yourself differently. I've never seen these pillows in my life.
She's been talking about these pillows all day. So
I'm gonna get
Beadle probably just giving herself some credit for something that's already been there.
No,
no
I will
new
be
pillows,
scouring
no new
old videos of this show all weekend long to prove.
Be my guest. Be my guest.
Fine, I got time. I got nothing but time because guess what?
Be my
Super
guest.
Bowl's on.
No new pillows.
Yeah, it's definitely new pillows. Super Bowl pick. Look at it. It's the whole couch back there.
No.
Are you gonna watch?
That couch has always been there too.
Are you having a party for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I didn't want to say that publicly, but you asked.
Well, you don't have to invite anybody. I'm just saying you're gonna have it. Well, who are we picking? Like, who do we have where are we on this?
I got the Patriots.
Really?
I got the Seahawks.
Who on that?
Yeah, we could do something light for a little fight.
Okay. Why are you doing Patriots?
Why?
Yeah.
I like Drake May.
Said no one ever.
I like
That's the
Drake May.
weirdest sentence I've ever heard said on the show.
What's wrong with Drake May?
It's not that I dislike him, but I've never heard anybody like, I like Drake May. Like,
I think he's a good player. I like Drake May.
I mean, he had a really good playoffs.
I like the Seahawks because that just feels like a safer bet for my cheese.
Okay, you know what? No. Are we excited about the
Super Bowl
music?
is the one game that I bet on. I bet on all the quirky things. I bet on the national anthem,
No,
how
you're
long
right.
it goes. I bet on first downs. This is my Super Bowl of
Prop bets.
of gambling.
Wait, who's the anthem singer? I don't even know.
Me.
Okay,
You know what?
who's the anthem singer? How do we not know this guy? Okay, you know why? Because we've been all concentrating on Bad Bunny
We're in
and
trouble.
Green Day.
We're in trouble.
Maybe we get Chandler back next week. We don't know. The justice system has him in its grasp.
Enjoy the Hampton, CP.
We miss you,
clear that
buddy.
up. That sounds crazy. You should
Oh,
clear
he's
that
not
up.
in trouble? Shoot.
They're running back, yeah.